Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Congratulations. On behalf of the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the Schmoes Know, you are now a member of the Jedi Alliance. May the Force be with you, always.
Happy Star Wars Day to you. May the 4th be with you. I am Ken Napzok for an amazing edition of Jedi Alliance, where we celebrate the greatest saga ever told. I am here with a large cast of characters that's only going to grow as the show goes on. We might broadcast all the way until Cinco de Mayo, where we start talking about the soundtrack. Like I said, I'm Ken Napzok, and I'm joined by a bunch of returning guests. We got right here my good friend Joseph Scrimshaw.
Hello.
Welcome back. By the way, I posted today on the page something you wrote, which is Star Wars A New Hope in Twitter tweets.
Yes.
That I remember reading 2 years ago, and you posted today, and I was like, that Scrimshaw did it.
Yeah, I did. I did it
stuff.
several years ago, and the Twitter jokes are dated now, so it's awesome.
No, that's good. It still stands up.
Yeah, but there's going to be no special edition, I've decided.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
No, that's all right. It's kind of like when the Ruddles went back and did a second version for the Beatles anthology. Jennifer Land is returning as well.
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. This is your third time. You're becoming a regular contributor, which makes me very happy.
Me too.
Especially because today you have brought Hoth cupcakes.
I did.
Yay. You have wisely kept them away from me on air, or else I would eat them. But I'm so happy that you're back. The defender of the Ewoks.
Yes, and I'm wearing my Ewok Lego earrings today.
It's amazing. I just saw that.
Yes.
And they've got little gold leaves around them like they're in the forest hiding.
Exactly.
Yub nub life forever.
Forever.
To her left is, returning for his third time, is professional wrestling superstar, Ring of Honor tag team champion, along with Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian. Today, though, buddy, you are all Star Wars.
I am. Do you mind if I go into pro wrestler mode and give myself an intro real quick?
Do it.
If I can do that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am hotter than Mustafar, cooler than Hoth. I am a Jedi on the streets, but a Sith between the sheets. My name is Frankie Kazarian, and I'm here for your listening pleasure.
And his opponent, the Jobber of the Week.
I can't follow that.
Returning, this is your third or fourth time.
I think I'm on the show every other week now, so thank you for giving me something to do.
No problem. You've been here for some controversial episodes where we, dear God, try to talk about some racial equality in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
How dare us? And then you also filled in for me when I was in Las Vegas.
I had the temerity
Frankie at the Cauliflower Rally Club.
I had the temerity to fill in for you. Sorry about that.
How dare you do that at the last minute free as a favor to me to allow the fans to have a show, and they attacked you for it.
Can you believe it? People on the internet were mean about something.
I'm astonished by
I know,
that.
right? It's crazy that happened.
Nuts.
It was the first time that ever happened.
First time in recorded history that YouTube had negative comments.
I know, right?
But I'm so happy to
crazy.
have Joe back. You were one of my longtime friends.
I've been crying ever since.
You're one of my longtime friends from stand-up comedy and pro wrestling. Frankie, I once caned him when he didn't know it was coming. It was great.
And I caned him. He had warning.
Yeah, I did have
Were
warning.
you guys like playing old wrestlers? What?
Yeah, we were managers.
It was a friend.
Okay.
So I'm so happy to have you here to celebrate Star Wars with me.
Can't both be Freddie Blassie.
I was more the Grand Wizard. And sitting next to him is our Jedi Alliance toy expert, filling in for the last minute. Mark Ellis is on his way from Schmoes Know.
Mark Ellis.
But Mark texted me last night. He's like, hey, man, got a screening. I'll be late. And I was like, there's only one man who can actually be better than Mark Ellis, and that's Mike Black.
That's very true.
Who showed up with a belated birthday gift for me.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm going to show it here, I'll just cover Joseph's face with it. It is the Black Series Boba Fett concept art one, and this makes me very happy. I have the other Boba Fett one. It's not quite as good as my birthday gift that I've shown before on the show, but is the Wookiee Erotica. We've all been taking turns being freaked out by the naked Gamorrean.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, his clothes come off. So.
Mark Donica's in the producing engineer booth today. Say hi, Mark. You are a big Star Wars fan as well, and I'm happy to have you producing this show today, too.
I love Captain Picard.
Yeah, he's
Save it
canon.
for Cinco de Mayo.
I'll tell you what, though, Captain Picard's a better name than Captain Phasma. Let's jump right into
Captain Phasma!
Fighting words.
There it is.
We're going to take a
Good
look
segue.
at news from the HoloNet. We'll go into some news first before we celebrate big. I want to actually go before the Vanity Fair stuff today, which, look, I've been a little negative today on social media because I think I was spoiled a little bit by stuff by Vanity Fair. But I love the photos. But we'll talk about that in a second. I want to get everyone's opinion in the room on the news of Josh Trank being... not part of the second Star Wars anthology film.
Future endeavored.
Yeah,
Yes.
good luck with you. Future endeavors.
He has become one with the Force.
Who was there at Celebration on the last day? Anyone get other than me at the panel that was there?
No one likes to show off, Ken.
No,
Get
I'm not
it.
showing
You were
off.
there.
I'm not showing off. I missed the first day, the big one. I was there, and that's when they announced that, oh, we're sorry, Josh Trank is sick. And an entire room of 1,000 people all at once went, sure. Sure.
Yeah.
So we at Schmoes Know had received, as it ended, we received a text from a source that said, Trank's out. So we kind of had been sitting with it. We kind of knew, and now it's official. The reasons, I'm not here to gossip or worry about it. We don't know any of these people. But the point is now we have an anthology film that has plenty of time. It doesn't start shooting until 2016 at the earliest. But we have a room for a new director. Trank is out. Who do you want in Mike Black?
Matthew Vaughn.
Vaughn would be a great choice.
I think he'd be really good. Kick-Ass and Kingsman. And I really enjoyed both of those films far more than I thought I would going in.
Right.
And he uses music in a really interesting way, and I think that's a big part of Star Wars.
Absolutely.
And he knows how to film an action sequence almost second to none. And so I think that's my choice.
And he was rumored, he was in the episode 7 running or something.
Oh, I didn't know.
I think early on it was definitely a fan choice too, and I think that'd be a good fit. And if anyone else has it, it's a good pick too. Jennifer, who do you have in your brain?
I'm going to agree. I think that's a fantastic idea. I love, he's almost like a music video, like very quick paced.
Right.
I think it would be a very different tone than obviously Rogue One. So I like that. Yeah.
And I'm very excited for Rogue One, and I think Gareth Edwards is a great choice. I don't have a dog in the fight on the Godzilla thing. I'm not worried about that. But this guy, Gareth Edwards, is a fan. We talked about it last couple weeks on the show. He revealed himself at Celebration as a giant fan. On his 30th birthday, traveled to Tunisia and took pictures of himself on the set and did the sunset shot. I mean, this guy is good, and he's talented, and he's going to tell good stories. So, but with Trank out, Frankie, who are you looking at? Who are you thinking?
You were talking about negative comments on the internet. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of them for this, but and this is a bit off the wall. I'm saying Kevin Smith.
Really?
Now I know this is not his regular cup of Java.
The show just got shut off. Yeah,
We have to go home now. Thanks a lot, Frankie.
Let's talk about Star Trek instead of this.
Yeah.
This is not okay.
Obviously, the sci-fi realm is not his genre.
Yeah.
However, he is a great director, and I think he really embodies our generation of Star Wars fans. And I think if anybody would pour their heart and soul into the project, it would be him. It would be him. And
Can I dogpile on that? Because he talked about getting to go on the set of the Millennium Falcon, and the way he talked about it was exactly how I would have felt. And so
he was almost tearing up.
The one tier. The
Yeah,
Instagram
exactly.
shot.
So I see a lot of promise in that idea. I think that
it's
could
just
be
an
really
out-of-the-box
cool.
suggestion.
Yeah.
But just, he can tell a good story. I'm a fan of his films. I know a lot of people think they're a little too dialogue-y. And,
Sure.
But, I think it would be cool. I think he would really take the project and just... completely live and die by it.
If he's going to direct a Star Wars film, you'd want it to be an anthology one because it's outside the main storyline, so you can take a little chance with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd do a Kevin Smith comedy with it. I think he'd know how to do it.
No,
Right.
Jay and Silent Bob wouldn't be outside the cantina,
I don't think
Although
he'd be
they
able
make
to
great
stop
a
himself
great pair of
there.
You don't
droids.
think,
Exactly.
you don't think he'd be able to stop himself?
Yeah, I think it is so much a part of his DNA as a creator that he has meta and Winky that there would be a lot of little Kevin Smith things buried in the background. And I think it would be too clever by half.
Perhaps, perhaps.
All right. Well, we're going to put Joseph and Frankie in the fighting pits to determine right now what's going on. Joe, you got a choice for us?
I'm thinking Edgar Wright. Maybe. I feel like he's owed a big kind of Star thing after all the Ant-Man nonsense.
We got a lot of people in the chat room who are saying Frankie should get up and leave. And actually, they're great. And that Edgar Wright is a popular choice as well.
He had, and he's done sci-fi. He worked on Spaced.
Yeah.
the sci-fi show out in the BBC.
Yeah.
I think he could do it.
And he's he's strong. He's got strong visions, enough to where he'd walk away from a project if his vision wasn't carried out. So
I don't hate the Kevin Smith pick, at least because you can't question the passion he'd have, and I think Edgar Wright, probably along the same lines. He'd come in full guns a-blazing and let me do this.
Joe Buston on our chat room says Colin Trevorrow. That's interesting choice. He's got Jurassic World coming out though. And Michael Bay. We've all agreed in the chat room. No Michael Bay.
He shouldn't get to direct any movies ever again.
Yeah, I wonder if just for fun we want someone who isn't a fan, since so far they've gone full fan. And a lot of it I think is going to be very, very, let me show you my love of this, and maybe it would be fun to have somebody just be really auteurish and go nuts. Maybe this is a good David Lynch time.
David Lynch time, huh?
Maybe not David Lynch himself, but obviously it would have been a train wreck had he directed Return of the Jedi. It would have been a very, very slow train wreck. Yeah. But maybe it'd be fun, depending on what the actual story is, to see a really different approach.
To see Sting in it and Kyle MacLachlan.
I would totally see David Lynch Star Wars.
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't understand any of it, but I'd totally see it.
Yeah.
He'd fight for a good budget, we know, because of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So,
I'd want him to just do the Cantina. Just a whole movie about the Cantina.
Yeah.
That would be great.
But I think, I seriously think that we're a little too fan obsessed of who loves it. Like, there are enough people in the world who love it. Let's, if it's an Obi-Wan Solo movie and it's a Western, get a person who loves Westerns and is great at Westerns.
Right. Yeah. I can totally get behind that, and I'm always a little worried when you have fans too much involved with things. Like I always say, if as a fan I could get what I want, I'd be batting fourth for the Yankees tonight. Yeah. Right. And there's no way they let me do that, right? So I'm always wary of it. I think though they picked the right one so far, but I agree with you though. Yeah, I agree with you. It would be a good opportunity for me though. I said this before on my Spotlight Star Wars show, which is on the Napzok Files podcast feed. He's not going to do it. He can't do it. Won't do it. Schedule won't allow it. But I would like to see Steven Spielberg get us one shot.
I can agree.
Yes, no?
That is
You're going with that?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
The defender of the Ewoks is on my side.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine?
No chance in hell, but God, it would be so good.
He's magical.
72 years old. He's got a lot going on. He is not slowing down. He's got a lot of things planned in the next couple of years. But as we all know, the legend goes, he may have been in line to direct Jedi, but Lucas's problems with the unions kept him out. He may have phantom directed some stuff in Revenge of the Sith, if you believe different stories here and there. Might have been, I always heard it was the lightsaber fight on Mustafar, but some people are tweeting me, no, it was the opening crash of the Star Destroyer with Anakin driving.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's true or not. He obviously is a close guy with Lucas, but that doesn't matter anymore. So
that would be huge, though.
He's a mentor.
He's a mentor. Star Wars.
Well, and how old was Kirshner when he did Empire? He was like 108.
Yeah, he was in his 50s.
He was 107. Yeah.
107 years old.
When 107 years old you reach, direct Empire. And Spielberg's a mentor to Kathleen Kennedy. Right. It's not that he's not connected. Again, won't happen. No. Schedule won't permit, but...
No, it'll be an E.T. Jedi, and that'll be the film.
It'll just be a heartwarming tale. It'll be an updated version of Battle of Endor and Caravan of Courage. It will just be... So that's our choices. A lot of you guys in the chat room are having some great choices. Antoine Fuqua is a great choice for me. That's a great choice, especially if they're going to do maybe a Han Solo's Western style. He's working on some stuff in that realm, too. That'd be a good... Guillermo del Toro, Willie the Bull, as we call him here in Schmoes Know World. It'd be maybe another Cantina Chronicles type of candidate. So there's that. Now I want to talk Vanity Fair. It is tradition with each new Star Wars film, going back to The Phantom Menace. I still have that edition in storage in my room because that's why I'm not married. That's why. These are all mine. Ken, are you buying those for your children? Yes.
Yeah, totally.
My kids.
The same way Jerry Lewis has kids.
This is Ken's dowry.
Phantom Menace was the first to do it, where Annie Leibovitz goes and shoots the Star Wars cast in a nice photo shoot for the new films, and they're always beautiful shots. They're always great, and that broke today, maybe late last night. First of all, let's just talk about the shots. Who has seen it? What has seen it? What do you feel about the shots, Frankie?
I have not seen it. All I've heard is your
my rant on spoilers.
Your tirade earlier. So yeah, but I agree. I mean, I'm all for trying to keep spoilers at bay.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I have not seen the shots yet.
All right, let someone show him.
Yeah.
Now, let's get it.
Oh, you want to? I skimmed them because I don't need to know any more about this movie. I just want to see it. But I did get a look, and it certainly looks good. I mean, between the trailers and the pics, the look of the movie so far, I'm on board. I approve. Let's do it.
I love the cover photo with Han, Chewie, Rey, and Finn.
Yeah, that was really cool.
in the background. I like it a lot there.
Yeah, no, it certainly style-wise, it all looks outstanding.
Joseph?
Yeah, I saw it all because I want to avoid trailers, but I think it is going to be just absolutely impossible. I want to avoid spoilers, but I successfully avoided everything in Age of Ultron, and I really enjoyed the movie better for that. Ken and I were talking right before we started that it's that thing of like, any little piece of information by itself isn't a spoiler, but all the dots start to connect, and you start to guess the plot, and you can't turn your brain off.
Yeah. You said that, and I give you full credit because that kind of made me understand what I was feeling. A lot of some people tweeted me, they didn't spoil things. No, they didn't go out and spoil things, but now I know things that I go, oh, this is what it possibly means.
Yeah, it's not a photo of Gwendolyn Christie. That's her name, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a photo of her character. It's a photo of her character at a location after an event.
Yes.
So now we have three pieces of information in one photo in one sentence.
Yeah, and that character, of course, is named Captain Phasma. And I was very grumpy on the internet this morning, and I understand there are 50 worse Star Wars names, but I am not, it sounds like Flash Gordon fanfic, and as our engineer Mark will tell me, say it, Mark.
Isn't Star Wars Flash Gordon fanfic anyway?
You are kind of correct, Mark. So maybe I'll just shut the F up and sit back and enjoy the show.
Enjoy Captain
Walker?
That's
just weird.
Yeah, you're right. Shut up, Mark. You're right. Jennifer, have you had a chance to take any of this in yet, or you've been busy making Hoth cupcakes?
I did. You know, I didn't even think about the spoiler aspect. I was just so excited. I wanted to see these photos. I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn Christie, I can't wait.
Yeah.
That I agree.
Oh my God, that photo, the Chrome Stormtrooper, whatever, Captain Phasma. But I'm like, is she gonna? She can't be all bad. She has to have some good, right? Come on, just a little bit.
Have you sensed some good in her?
Yeah, Brianna Tarth, I can't let go.
She's more chrome now, more twisted.
You can't be that pretty and be evil. It's just not possible.
I'm very much looking forward to this character for many reasons, because Gwendolyn Christie just kills it each week, no pun intended, on Game of Thrones as Brienne of Tarth. And I'm excited that we have a very, very strong and literally physically strong female in a big baddie role. This is a great thing.
Exactly.
Captain Laserbolt or whatever. All right.
It's Admiral Laserpants. Be respectful.
And I'll never be able to just say Captain Phasma. There has to be flourish with it. It's just Captain Phasma from now on all the time.
Some people were tweeting into me today that they'd rather the character be Brienne of Darth. And
Oh my gosh, that's
I would murder someone.
I love it. I'm sorry.
Joseph, you had a chance to take this in, did I already ask you? I can't remember.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I brought my mouth.
I'm sorry, I'm so Captain Phasma'd out.
I'll say that I love Captain Phasma because I think there should be some bad names. It's part of Star Wars. We hear a name,
It is a tradition.
we think it's bad.
It's a good point.
Count Dooku, we were all like, come on! And then then you say it for a decade and you're like, yeah, Count Dooku, what? That's a name.
And
Makes sense.
And if you read our favorite book here, which is How Star Wars Conquered the Universe, and you read some of that first draft stuff, you're like, oh no, George, no,
Yes.
no, and it makes Skywalker sound better. So Joseph, you always have the most intelligent, thought-out responses to me, and I appreciate it. You're always the one that goes, hey, idiots, slow down and think about it this way.
I am your Star Wars therapist, and I'm happy in that role.
Thank you. Mike, have you had a chance yet?
Yes, I would have named her Bart Fart Plopper. So it's better hands than mine are writing the script.
I wrestled Bart Fart Plopper one time. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. He wanted to get all his spots on, too. It was great.
Much worse than Jake the Snake Roberts.
So, but you're...
I only saw the cover, and I got so many spoilers off of that. But really, they're all things that I think will happen, so probably none of them will, except Han will be old. I gleaned that much out of it.
He's also going to be a model
and
now.
Someone will probably be in the desert, is my other big guess at some point.
There's going to be some sand involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, and again, that's why I say it wasn't like Vanity Fair said, hey, here's what happens, but I totally agree with that. That's the only thing. But you know what? May 12th, next Tuesday, you know where I'm going to be? At the Walgreens down the street buying the Vanity Fair at 8 in the morning. So that's that. So that is kind of a look at the around the holonet. There's a lot of Star Wars news coming out. I think that's the big news. Leland Chee, the keeper of the holocron for Lucasfilm, last night tweeted out something about, hey, you think we're done with Star Wars dominating the news? Stand by to stand by. And maybe the Vanity Fair stuff was it, or maybe tonight we'll get a picture of Luke Skywalker having a drink with Han Solo in the cantina at 80. I don't know. So that's kind of our look there. We got get to the fart plopper, King Britt says. And Malcolm the Great says, Han will be old. Damn it, movie's ruined now. You guys
sorry, those damn spoilers, man.
You guys are killing it in the chat room today, and thanks so much for being supportive of the show and carrying on and joining the conversation and joining the celebration. We love that. We're going to move on to a new segment here, and I think it's something we're going to bring back on and on, but we're going to try it out here. You are my guinea pigs. This is called Cantina Confessions. Imagine the lights are low in the Star Wars Cantina on Mos Eisley, or it could be the sports bar and grill on Coruscant, where you get death sticks if you want, from one of the other worst names in Star Wars, which is
the Lon Sleaze-Begano?
Yes. So yeah, I guess Captain Phasma's all right. So here's what we're going to do. Everyone here on the panel is going to have an opportunity to confess something about their Star Wars fandom. It might be something embarrassing. It might be an embarrassing or controversial point of view. Minor one for me. I was kind of late to the studio today because I was finishing watching Revenge of the Sith down to the very last word.
Attaboy.
No?
We're all going to know each other a lot better after we confess.
Yes.
So imagine you're in the cantina. Got some music playing.
Figrin
Mark,
Dan.
you're great. Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes are working it hard.
Just wailing.
They
sure are.
Bart fart plopper.
Imagine Joe Ruggiero slides up to the bar to confess something to Wur, the bartender.
Of course, you make me go first.
You're the one in the Target's Death Star shirt.
That's right. I like my
do it.
Target Death Star shirt.
And I got my Team Y-Wing shirt on finally. Club Y-Wing all the way. Joseph. Joe, excuse me. There's so many Josephs here.
Get it right. Well, see, this is a double whammy awful confession. Because A, I'm a man with a cat. B, that cat's name is Lando.
Aww.
And much like the character from whence the name came, he is a traitor.
He is a traitor.
He's a traitor and a jerk.
How long have you had this cat?
He's getting near 10.
Near 10.
Almost a decade.
So 10 years ago, you get this little kitten. You look at it and you think to yourself, Lando Calrissian?
Yeah. Well, you know the genesis of the name is. But
the other people don't.
Other people don't.
Did the cat hit on a woman you brought home?
No.
You have a little saucer of Colt 45.
He does like his Colt 45.
Meow, meow. What do we have here?
About 2 weeks before I accidentally bought a cat, my dear friend and former guest on the show, Megan Finley.
Yes.
We're having a discussion, and she decided that I should name my firstborn son Lando Calrissian Ruggiero because she thinks that works.
Sure.
And I was like, sure. I hope I marry someone cool enough to let me do that. And then 2 weeks later, I have this stupid little cat, and I'm trying to think of what should I name you. Hey, I'll call you Lando.
This is a trial run for your future child.
Yeah, to see if it takes. And
well.
It's
Star Wars children's names are kind of doable.
This is my confession. My firstborn son's name is Rebel.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it can be done.
You chose better than I did, but that's good.
Love that.
And that's not a theory, that's reality? You have a child?
My son's name is I showed you dressed like like Mark Hamill, the X-Wing version of Mark Hamill.
Right.
Same
one right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Same shag haircut and everything. Rebel. Yeah.
That's a lot less depressing than my story.
Joseph has confessed that he has a cat named Lando.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're going to slide over on the couch to Mr. Mike Black.
Oh, man,
Step up to the bar, grab some blue milk, and confess.
Please make me feel better.
Oh, this will. It's going to hurt. They had at Skate City in Aurora, Colorado, when I was a kid in 4th grade, they had Star Wars Day, and I took it to mean what it means to us now. what they meant is you'll get a Star Wars poster and you can skate like normal people.
There's always roller skates in your stores.
Yeah, there are. And I had my mom get out of mothballs the Ewok costume that she made for me on Halloween, and I thought, I won't be the only. There'll be tons of Ewoks and stormtroopers and whatnot going on. Just me. Just me in Skate City rocking my fucking Ewok costume in circle after other kids taking pictures with me, and like the guy at the front is like, no one dressed up, right? And I was like, whatever, like, I don't believe you. And I don't know why I didn't believe the 40-year-old who doesn't care about skating.
He wouldn't lead you wrong.
Oh my gosh.
And then I got tired of skating because it was real hot in that thing.
Yeah.
And so I just sat at the snack bar, and they sold pickle juice for some reason. Like, they had like pickles and stuff. They sold pickle juice, and like to a little kid, that's as close as you could get to hard liquor.
Yeah.
So it was just me in my Ewok costume drinking pickle juice until my mom picked me up.
With roller skates.
Oh my gosh, and the music playing.
It was the worst.
I feel so much better now.
Oh
Were you,
God.
juice. I
I'll let
can't.
Mike reset. Were you Chief Chirpa, low grade?
Yeah, Tebow. Come on, be Tebow.
I was Wicket.
Was it a good costume? Was it recognizable, or was it just like
rad costume?
Okay.
My mom's a professional costumer, so it was like really a good.
So custom made.
Yeah, it was a very
That's
good
cool.
costume.
Wow.
Are there pictures?
Yeah.
I will have to ask my mom if there are. I'm pretty sure.
And when
she
will
may
they go
still
on the
have the
internet?
costume, and she can take a picture.
I
of
like
that.
to imagine at the end of this where you're sitting there drinking that pickle juice with your skate, one of the wheels still spinning. And someone came up to you and offered you like a little crisp, and you just kind of
backed away from them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's Mike Black. You never fail to tell embarrassing Star Wars
That
stories.
hurt my soul.
The last one was, of course, your friend who
Oh,
had
God.
the Millennium Falcon and crashed. That was great.
Yeah.
Joseph Scrimshaw, step up and confess.
I think the first thing that I would confess to Wu Hair is that I have an action figure of him. One of my favorites. So grumpy and nothing action about that figure at all.
Yeah.
Large, solid man. I think probably, I mean, there's so many things. I've hid action figures from children and then run to the ATM so I can get the money to buy it, and they don't buy it from me. So many things, but I think the thing that is like maybe my fandom is just a little bit too far. The thing that my mind goes to is there was a time when I was a little kid. We moved to a new town in Minnesota, and but just the sky was just open a lot more than other places we lived. So I'd see the clouds a lot, and every day I'd be like, "Wow, it looks like Cloud City." And every day my mother would get a little bit more nervous. One day she just stopped me and she said, "You know Star Wars isn't real, right? No. You know that, don't you?" And then I had to quietly keep it to myself, and I would mumble to myself, "It looks like Cloud City," because I knew my mom couldn't hear, or she would like start taking Star Wars stuff away from me.
That's pretty awesome. I'll go next here and confess myself. Minor confession first. When I was at I've mentioned this on the show, I think maybe, but on the recess at Margaret Harlow Elementary School in Arroyo Grande, California, in about 83 to 84, we'd hit the recess playground area and we'd establish characters and play Star Wars. Mm-hmm. So one of my friends, I won't give his name to not embarrass him, refused to be Lando Calrissian. So I came up with a complete backstory where Lando was actually Luke's half-cousin and had some limited Jedi powers, and you could control a lightsaber, but he couldn't quite use it, and my friend bit and played Lando in the park. But that's not
a bit of a mind trick. Jedi mind trick to me.
Because I wanted to be Han Solo. He wanted to be Han. But no, my confession is that throughout the same time period, at the conclusion of Return of the Jedi, I'd always heard Lucas say that there was 3 more stories to tell, and there was future Star Wars coming, at Episode 7, if you will. So I concocted an entire fanfic at about 9 years old, where I was Han Solo and Princess Leia's lost son. And in my backyard, fortunate enough as a kid, had a big enough backyard where I had a tree area with a fort, was Endor. I had a big grass area where a tree had been removed and there was a hole. That was the Sarlacc pit. And on the other side, we had a patio And that was like an Imperial cruiser. And every day I'd add to the story and play, and it was an intricate, detailed story, and I'd be hiding. I was hiding from walkers on Tatooine all by myself every day for about 2 years. Out on Walnut Street in Arroyo Grande, California. I think the Plastic Blaster is still out there, so that is my confession.
What was your name? Is Han and Leia's son? Was it just Ken?
It might have been Kylo. It might have been Kylo Ren. I might have known.
I don't think it was.
No, it was close enough. I don't remember that, and I have comic books of Transformers episodes that I drew. I can't find the Star Wars one around though. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to go home to my folks' house.
So if they ever put you in solitary, like for a long time, you'd be fine.
I'd be
like, this is my wheelhouse. Yeah, let's go.
It's time for episode 8. So that is my confession. Jennifer Lynn.
Okay, really quickly, before we go into the next confession, considering that we are at the Cantina, we got some drinks for everybody.
Alexis arrived.
Yay.
Okay, here we go.
Hello.
There we go. Alexis is here.
Everybody,
Blue milk?
Blue moon.
Oh my God!
Look at this.
I can't have one.
Thank
I can have.
you.
Oh yeah, okay. You can have mine. I
you.
gotta take a photo of that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is
So cool.
I'll try to show it up here.
The more force
Time to gram it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
Later, I made 2 concoctions. One is called the Force, and the other one is called the Dark Side. And they're also alcoholic.
Wow.
Oh my.
This show, This show is now 4 hours long.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
Total unexplained mystery alcohol with a Star Wars name. I have had this dream.
What is in this? Jennifer, don't worry, I'll have yours.
I was like, no, you don't
Oh,
have
no,
to.
yeah. I'll be the gentleman. Don't worry.
Jennifer is expecting her own Ewok and can't drink it.
No worries, don't drink that.
Thank you, Alexis. We'll go in the booth and we'll ask you some questions. Jennifer,
That's awesome.
as we all drink up
my
here at the
gosh.
Star Wars Cantina bar,
Yeah.
please confess your Star Wars confession.
I imagine I'd be confessing to B. Arthur as Akmina.
From the holiday special?
Absolutely. She's my type of broad.
Yeah.
Saddle up to the bar and I'd say, okay, let this be known. Oh, yeah.
I got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We got it.
You guys need
Frankie?
a bottle
Frankie needs to.
Bottle
Oh, yeah.
opener?
Yes?
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no. I think, trying to think of, let this be known, I do not cry. I'm not a crier.
You're not one of those. Okay.
No. However, every time I hear the Star Wars main theme, I get teary-eyed and I start crying. Whether it's in theaters, or when I saw John Williams in concert.
Yes.
Anytime I hear that song, I kind of stop and I get welled up with emotion. It's odd.
That's a sweet confession.
Well,
That just
it's a little
shows.
embarrassing.
Does it work if it's 8-bit? Like on the old Nintendo video games? Would it still work?
No.
Okay.
No. Needs a full orchestra.
Okay.
Love that. No, that's great. That's great. I wish we had that now. We could test the theory and have Jennifer cry on air.
No, don't.
Working on it.
Donica's working at it. Frankie,
Oh, okay.
step on up. Drink your That's
So I was
No
drinking
Moon
mine.
beer.
I love that.
That's awesome. Okay, I am a professional wrestler by trade. We've covered that.
Yeah.
So, I want to say roughly 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I took part in what was called, in Toms River, New Jersey, a Monsters Battle Royal.
Gotcha.
And the theme of it was right around Halloween time. The theme was bad guys or monsters from film. So
Yeah.
you had Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Pinhead, Ivan Drago was in there.
Yeah.
You had the Wolfman, Dracula, just a who's who, a veritable who's who of monsters. So I, of course, was Darth Vader.
Nice.
And on the way to the show, I wanted it to be so authentic. My friend Mark and I constructed a lightsaber because all we had was a Count Dooku lightsaber.
No.
But we couldn't use that handle, so we had to take an Anakin handle and make our own lightsaber. So I came out last. I entered the ring dressed in quite possibly one of the shittiest Darth Vader costumes ever because it was all we could find on a whim.
It was the plastic mask
It
from
wasn't good. It wasn't good, but it did the trick. So I got in the ring and I was eliminating guys by force throwing them. The place was going nuts. I eliminated everybody in the ring. And as I did, the music played and a midget dressed like Yoda walked to the ring. Got in the ring. Me and Midget Yoda choreographed a 5-minute lightsaber battle. He then eliminated me. I went over the top rope and because I couldn't see, landed on my neck. The pants of the Darth Vader thing came off. You could see my neon green gear underneath it. It was the most awesome and absurd thing I've ever been a part of.
That's awesome.
But it was.
I love pro wrestling
which
so
is
much.
why pro wrestling will always be better than boxing. Never would have happened with Floyd Mayweather. That is odd. Is there any video anywhere on YouTube somewhere?
Yeah, I really want to see that.
I will talk to my buddy Mark, who was there and helped put the thing together, and I'm sure there's. I have photographs. It's ridiculous.
Anything you got, send it my way, and we will put it up on our Jedi Alliance.
Another thing, right after them, for some reason, I was late to the party on this one. After I got eliminated and the bell rang, the midget Yoda, sorry, little person Yoda, if I'm offending anyone, took off his costume and revealed himself as Mini-Me, as some part of weird swerve that nobody got. Because there was also a Dr. Evil in the Bad Guy Battle Royal. So it was like a weird swerve, like it wasn't Yoda that beat you, haha, it was me. It was the most ridiculous thing.
Like, and then you got up and said, "That's not canon," and ran into
I love pro wrestling.
That's awesome.
It's so wonderful.
When pro wrestling and Star Wars meet. Mark, could you close this down? You've been such a great engineer today, watching me get drunk on air, and I appreciate that. Please confess something for us from your Star Wars fandom.
Well, I'm a very. I
wasn't expecting that, were you?
You could have stopped right there. Well,
hell.
I'm a big Disneyland fan. I've been going ever since I was a youngin'. And when I was a kid, I mean, even though prices weren't as expensive as they are now, my poor mother, I spent an entire day forcing her to go on Star Tours. An entire day.
Good Lord.
Opening to close. Still my favorite ride.
That's a great mother.
The new one
That's so much Star Tours.
I owe her so much financially.
It's back when it was just the one show.
Yeah, I was going to say,
exactly.
Back then it didn't change.
Yeah.
It was just...
So you had Rex's speech memorized then, right?
I did.
Yeah.
But I've been too many that's no moons, and I don't know what it is.
That is awesome.
Delicious.
So that brings to a close Cantina Confessions, and I think that was fun, and I think we're going to do it again. You out there in the chat room, do you like it? Do you want to see us make that part of a show on a semi-regular basis? Let us know. We will confess more things, hopefully involving Mike Black and roller skates.
Yes.
So from there, as the celebration continues, we're going to go on to a returning segment that we did a couple weeks ago when we did the Kenner Vintage Star Wars episode, where Mike Black, Joseph Scrimshaw, Mark Riley, and myself, we talked about all the vintage Kenner figures. And for the Duel of Fates that week, I was looking for something special, and Joseph and I, who's become a great brainstormer on this show, I will say, and give you full credit for that.
Thank you.
You said, hey, we should have some figures fight each other. Like, the figures, not the characters, the figures.
Well, yeah.
And debate that, and we did that, and so I wanted to bring it back here today. You kind of know a little bit. You suggested some things, but I went in some different directions, and everyone here on this panel is being surprised by the combatants today.
Excellent.
They're up on that screen there for us to see if you want to poke up.
Oh, brother.
The first one, as you can see, we're going to go around the room. Remember, when you debate this is the figures. You can throw a little bit of the character traits into it.
Okay.
But this is the figure.
Which figure
versus the figure
would win in a fight?
In a fight. All right. First up is a bunch of sad Lobots. As Joseph Scrimshaw so well pointed out on that episode, by 1985, the only figures you could get were a bunch of sad Lobots and a prune face. So we have Lobot, the classic 1980 figure, versus General Crix Maydean, the strategist of the Rebel Army who strategized the Battle of Endor battle plan. So that is who we have. Joseph, I'll let you start us off here.
Okay, can the audience see the photos you picked out?
The audience can see, yes.
Excellent. Yeah, because this is amazing. This is Crix Maydean in a porn movie, or perhaps he's a chocolate edible Crix Maydean.
Just on a bed of red velour.
A bed of red velour. Yeah. You are good at the talk game when it comes to wrestling. Well, I think that Maydean would have the advantage, because even though Lobot has a blaster, he looks like he has absolutely no idea how to hold it. So even if he was pointing it directly at Crix's head, he would miss by a lot, and then Crix would just poke him in the groin with his PowerPoint stick.
I think that is a great, excellent point. Jennifer, I'm going to let you step into the fighting pits here. Who do you have, Maydean or Sad Lobot?
I'm gonna go with Maydeen as well. I mean, look at the shape of his hands is like that grip, right? So that right there is gonna give him a huge advantage. Also, Lobot sleeves, they're a little bit too puffy.
A little piratey, yeah.
I think that might get in the way somehow.
Black's giggling. He's got something. So you're going Maydeen.
Yeah.
Well, Maydeen, he strikes that. Look, that is a dignified man. That is a man who knows how to press a uniform with an iron. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah, look at those
precision there.
Shoulders.
So we got two for
His broad shoulders.
Yeah.
We got 2 for Crix Maydeen. Mike Black, you're giggling. It's your time, man. You got it.
Okay.
You got it, man.
Well, Crix has the hair, the uniform, the fly swatter, the boots, and everything. And then there's Lobot. And the reason I think Lobot would win this fight is because Crix would look at him and go, "This is all he's got."
Oh.
He would win out of sheer pity. He would just let Lobot win.
You think Crix would throw it?
Yeah, he would take a dive.
Take that. All right, he's got the.
Crix is good like that.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. Which is why
He's like, I have this bitchin' perm, and he doesn't have anything. So
I've always believed that Crix and Mon Mothma are actually secretly in love, and I think Crix is a good guy, and he kind of deserves that kind
Mon
of
would
love.
kind of look at him like, come on,
let him take
what
the
else does he
dive.
have?
He's plugged into the central computer system. Ruggiero.
I guess I'm gonna sort of agree with you. Like I think Lobot takes it. Like really, I think Lobot kicks his ass. Like, I think
He's got a lot of pent up rage.
Yeah. First of all, us bald guys gotta stick together.
Okay,
but
that's fair.
He's
and
not
honestly,
fully
with the
bald.
headset,
It's that too.
neither of us really had a choice.
Can you just turn that? Yes, we
I mean, the 2 Lobots cannot not.
Who did you think I was gonna side with? But look, Maydeen looks like he's headed to a dressage tournament or something. I mean, he's just, I feel like he's a planner. He's not a fighter.
Yeah.
Lobot, he's sad, so he's got a lot of rage and
I like that.
issues. Years of being Lando's serving boy. Like he's ready to go, and Maydeen's just like,
okay, so we're tied up at
where's
2.
my mint julep? I just want to be dignified and hang out with my walking stick.
I'll go to the engineer booth. Alexis, you weigh in on this one. Alexis, who do you have in this figure fight? Maydeen or Sad Lobot? You brought the drinks. You got to play.
Yep.
I've had too many. Okay.
You're one of us now. Yeah.
Oh no.
She wasn't paying attention.
We were laughing our asses off in here.
We were laughing so hard. I'm gonna go with Lobot.
Go Lobot.
Yeah,
girl.
I feel so bad for him.
Don't take too much. And he has an Apple Watch for a head, so I mean he's doing okay in life.
So we got a pity vote. All right.
Pity is his power.
Mark, what you got?
Sometimes it's all you have in life.
Oh, I know. God,
Mark, who do you have in that booth?
I'm a fan of the Shakespeare sleeves. Gotta go with Lobot.
Lobot's up 4-2 with 2 remaining. Can we tie it up? Frankie.
Lobot takes the lead.
I just want to say these 2 characters, if they did put down the weapons and scrap, would be such a. I just imagine having be basically like a. Basically, be like a slap and tickle fight. Just like he's.
It might end in a passionate embrace. There's a really good chance.
Why are we fighting?
Maybe he's rather effeminate looking as well. And yes, armed with a mighty fly swatter.
But they can't really hug because their arms are straight, so it won't be that passionate.
It's true. But going with what you said, I think Lobot has a lot of pent up just anger.
Right?
He knows he's the butt of a lot of jokes. He knows he's a job guy in the Star Wars universe. I think he would take it out on him, and I think Lobot was. I think he has an evil, dark side that we have yet to see.
He's
going
not
Lobot.
sad. He's waiting.
He's been sitting in that plastic casing for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's ready to go, man.
I'm going Lobot.
Yeah, this, folks, I'll get a weigh in really quick here, but this just broke. The Wrap says the second Star Wars anthology film will be Boba Fett's origin story.
Nice!
Then David Lynch for sure.
Yes.
Jedi Alliance exclusive.
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah, thanks to someone just tipped me off tweeting that in. Who was it? Well, I know our buddy Christian over at Schmoes Know Jedi Council. Alden at Installation 04 was the first to kind of tip me off. But yeah, this broke with after our show went on air. But second anthology film will be Boba Fett's origin story.
I like all those words.
Okay. I'm gonna. So who'd you say again?
I said Lobot.
Lobot. 5-2.
That's right. Lobot takes it.
I'm gonna wrap it up and say Maydeen would get it. Maydeen was always one of my favorite characters as a kid, which is why I didn't have friends.
Yeah. You took him on little adventures.
Yes.
I remember this.
Yes.
I made that sound as demeaning as possible.
You take him on adventures.
He doesn't want to go on big adventures. He's a simple man.
He wants to just stay with his Lady Mon Mothma and plan battles. I think that PowerPoint stick. Look at that belt. Look at those gloves. This man takes care of business, and I think he'll do that right.
Yeah.
But
So he should be playing polo and have a riding crop with him.
He's going to dressage, man.
Crix Maydeen loses 5-3. Sad Lobot takes it.
Sad
Lobot takes it. Next fight up is a triple threat match. Frankie, you know these matches well. We're going to dip into pro wrestling a little bit here. We got a triple threat match. Klaatu versus Barada versus Nikto. The Skiff Guards. The Skiff Guards are up for a battle.
When you say it in that cadence, it sounds like they're a singing group, like the Backstreet Boys, or One Direction. The Skiff Guards.
The Skiff Guards.
Please welcome to the stage, Claudia Barada, Nikto, the Skiff Guards.
Figure Dan will be back next week, but the Skiff Guards are on. Klaatu versus Barada versus Nikto. Scrimshaw, you're looking at it, you're analyzing. What do you got?
Oh, I think it's Klaatu.
Klaatu?
Yeah.
Klaatu is on the far left. He's got the pelt.
He is by far the coolest figure, so he knows that. So if we're going in wrestling terms, the audience is on his side. The bad guys are heels, well, the good guys are
Baby faces.
He's totally the baby face. The audience
He's got a good look.
Utterly on his side because he is the coolest figure. Who knows what is under his furry dress? I'm sure he's got like a wrench in under there that he could hit the other guys with.
Brass knuckles.
A pair of brass knuckles. He can hide stuff in there. I go with Klaatu.
Ruggiero, who you got? You got Klaatu, Barada in the middle, Nikto on the end.
The furry dress kind of makes me think Klaatu, not so much the fighter, more of a lover. Barada is like a weird Rambo pirate, and I don't say that's not a compliment. So I'm gonna go with Nikto just by default.
Nikto in the end. He's got a good stick.
Yeah, he's got a good stick. Nice, simple.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. The other guys are. I don't know what's happening there.
Jennifer, bring in some insight to this battle.
I think my initial instinct would say Barada because he looks strong. But then I look at Nikto and he has the armor, and I'm like, well, maybe he could take it.
Right.
But I love his outfit. Klaatu.
Klaatu.
Yeah.
Going. He's got the pelt. That pelt, it looks very Games of Thrones-ish. He's at the wall. It's good.
Savage. He'd be a savage in the ring.
So we got two for Klaatu so far. Ruggiero going in the middle.
I feel like that dress would just be too hot. He's so
He
hot.
can take it off. He can take it off. Mike
That's
Black.
when things get real. He takes that off.
Mike Black, who you got?
Nikto is last for a reason. Because he looks like he's made out of circus peanuts. He's never won anything. Barada, I had a dog that looked like Barada for a very brief period. And
That's a terrible story, I'm imagining.
Yeah, it tried to bite me, and I was like, F you, Barada. And Klaatu, he's either killed a bantha or a wampa or something to get that pelt, or he outbargained Wadu. So either way, he's a fierce competitor, and he's got that double-edged fork of death, and the other two just have like one edge each, and they're cattle prods or something.
Yeah.
He'd cut their heads off and laugh
Klaatu.
about it.
You go with Klaatu. We got 3 for Klaatu, 1 for Nikto. Mark Ellis from Schmoes Know has joined us there.
I know that guy.
He's on the producer camera. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I feel great. I'm sorry I'm late.
No,
happy
it's
to be
good.
here.
You had a screening, and you have the Boba Fett shirt on. Did you hear the breaking news? It just broke.
No.
The second anthology film will be about Boba Fett's
Are you
origin
kidding me?
story.
This is happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting. I was stuck in a screening. I don't want to say what movie, but it's got Reese Witherspoon, Sofia Vergara, and it's horrible.
What? It looks so good. good.
Christian and I were sitting in there, and I used the old man. I really got a thing in the oven here. I got to go to the bathroom for the last half hour of this film, and I just took off. So, but we were pretty sure that we were going to get some sort of breaking news on May the 4th. We were pretty sure Vanity Fair wasn't the end all be all, and
that's it.
Boba.
God,
it's breaking
good
now.
shirt choice.
Wow. Rap running with it. Leland, she was right.
You made it happen.
News still coming.
You made it happen with your shirt.
I'm really glad I didn't put on like a Jabba the Hutt shirt this morning.
Yeah, so we all are.
So Ellis,
sad Lobot shirt.
We are in the middle of our figure fights. We already had our first figure fight, Lobot versus Crix Maydeen. Lobot took it 5-3. We're in the middle of a triple threat match. We got 1, 2, 3 for Klaatu, 1 for Nikto. I am going to jump in here, and I'm going to give this to Barada in the middle. No, excuse me. Yes. Barada in the middle. That fierce yellow, a man who can wear yellow like that, he is comfortable with his fighting skills. He's going to walk in any place and know the attention he brings with that yellow, it doesn't matter. Plus, he has a headband.
See, I feel like you'd be late to the fight because in the Star Wars universe, to have your costume be a headband, you have to have shown up so late.
That's an excellent point.
But he is ballsy to wear it so well.
I had not factored in the headband on either side of it. That's the logic. Kudos to both of you.
Kind of hypnotizing me now. I can't stop looking at it.
It's his Rambo pirate look. I don't like it.
In the engineer booth, Mark and Alexis weigh in on this one as well.
I'm going Barada. He's got a macho man type of look to him, and he kind of looks like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Of which
I was gonna say, damn it, Mark.
Hey, that's 2 more for Barada.
Yep.
2 more. So we got Barada and Klaatu are tied. Nikto bringing up the rear. Ellis weigh into this one here. Jump on into the figure fight.
First of all, I can't say I've never seen a man more at peace than where Mike Black is right now. Just sitting on a couch drinking a beer. This proves that May 4th is a national holiday.
Not just drinking a beer.
That's no moon.
That's no beer.
Oh my God! You pulled out all this. This is why I love Jedi Alliance.
It's happening.
And if I want it walking in here, I'd say Klaatu. But when I see the way that Barada looks, he looks like he plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's got the colors, he's got the LeBron headband going.
Yeah.
So I gotta go Barada on that one.
Barada bringing it up.
Yeah.
So does Klaatu tie Barada? Nikto is out of the running, but maybe he gets another point. Frankie, because I'm sure you've been in a lot of triple threat matches in your pro wrestling career. Take us through.
Yeah, I would say this is one of those triple threats where you have 3 guys that you have to put on the card, but you don't really, none of them have anything going on.
There's no feuds.
Over.
These are guys
so they're just like, hell, put them in a triple threat.
They show up to the arena with their bag and say, you got a spot.
Bag, it's like, it's like, so just like, let's do a triple threat. In my mind, Jabba's booking the territory, so I'm going to go to this gift card, Nikto. I'm going to give it to him because he's tight with him.
All right.
Yeah, this is one of those throwaway triple threat matches. I've seen and been a part of many of it.
So it's the one right after intermission where people still get back to their seats.
Yeah. It might even be one that you put on before the actual show starts.
Yeah, it's a dark match.
Not the dark side match, the dark match that nobody gives a damn about. So.
You got 4 minutes, kids. Go big memories.
Exactly. Barada wins 4-3 to 2. It was closer.
I'm concerned that people don't understand that this is about action figures fighting, not about creating the saddest collection of action figures. What collection could you give to just disappoint your child on Christmas morning? You're like, Star Wars! It's Lobot!
Thanks, Grandma.
As we move into hour 2 of Jedi Alliance, this is great. May the 4th be with you. We're having a blast here. The final figure fight of the day. Our main event
oh my God.
is classic 1979 Gonk Droid versus Yak Face.
Yeah. Wow.
So, Yak Face, the character, the figure, I should say, was released in 1985 in Europe only. It was not available in America. You could only get it when the Power of the Force re-releases kind of came later on. Yak Face was a rare figure for an American child, but the 1979 Gonk Droid, which is actually a power droid, was readily available and probably ruined many Christmas mornings. So, this main event, Gonk Droid versus Yak Face. Mark Ellis, please start us off on this final battle.
You know, Yak Face and I really had a problem in the 80s because he wasn't available. He was only over in Europe, and my parents, love me though they might, are simply not going to fly to Europe just for me. They might for my brother and my sister, but not for me.
Not for you.
I have to go Gonk Droid, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's still one of the standout droids from A New Hope. It's not. Yeah. Is he serving a main purpose? Of course he's not. But you see him there, you recognize him, and he's making that noise, and you're like, I want to know more about that guy's story. He looks like when R2 goes out clubbing at night. night. That's the fat friend he brings to make R2. So I'm
He's
gonna
the
go
Duff Droid.
Yes.
We just named Gonk Droid the Duff Droid. Hashtag Duff Droid. We got one for the Gonk. Mike Black, who you got in this battle?
I'm more interested in how this fight started. Yakface was trying to make a pizza, and Gonk Droid fought back. And I think Yakface. I blame him for smoking in the 80s because he looks so much like Joe Camel. And Gonk Droid's got branded feet, as we learned in Return of the Jedi. This is a tie to me.
Going push?
Yeah.
One for
it's a
push. One for push.
Yeah.
Mike Black's going push. Frankie, who do you got in Gonk versus Yakface?
Oh, God, this is a tough one.
Right? Like most main events. You can go either way.
It's Yakface. I was looking at those mitts. He's got some hands, so I don't know if he could,
That is a decided advantage. He has hands.
I would say he could apply like an Iron Claw type of move, but I don't know that would do much damage to a droid. He might be wasting his time, and I'm gonna go Gonk Droid.
Gonk Droid
is on pure physics.
He's up. Gonk Droid is up. 2-0 to a Nick Bakay push. We have Rucciarello next on the couch.
Oh, I'm going Gonk Droid all the way. I think he's gonna use the old Ali rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
And Yakface, he's gonna be hitting him with his stick, and then stick breaks. He just keeps going until Yakface is just worn out because you're not getting through that.
Then
you're not beating that. Then he falls down and Gonk just walks over him and it's done.
This is the first time ever anyone has uttered the words, "You just can't get through Gonk Droid."
You can't get through Gonk Droid. Rope-a-dope for the
Mark
win.
and Alexis back in the booth. Who you got here?
Gotta go Gonk.
Gonk. Gonk.
Once you go Gonk, you never. I don't know how to finish that.
Landa.
Gonk if you're happy.
Landa, weigh in with your Ewok earrings. You know a thing or two about vicious fighting.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yakface's face was so sweet looking. They're like the odd couple. Yeah, look at that face. Oh, hey guys, I'm here for the party. I mean, like Gonk Droid, I could see just being a little Spitfire and then doing the Cubert moves, like just bouncing up and down on top of him. Yakface is done.
Now I want that to be a video game so bad.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, yes.
Gonk versus Yakface.
We've got to create that right
Gonkbert.
now. Gonkbert. Oh my gosh.
Mortal Gonk Fat.
Oh wow. This is going good. You guys in the chat room, I hope you're having fun. A lot of people are saying they want nachos, maybe a reference to your Star Wars nachos from last time around. Joseph Scrimshaw, you were the one who suggested Yakface.
I did.
Shows me you might have a love for him, but take us home.
Well, there's a lot going on here. I rewatched the first part of Return of the Jedi, the whole Jabba scene this morning for my viewing pleasure. Because I also wanted to remember where Yakface, where we really clearly see him.
Right.
And where we see him is right when Leia is choking Jabba, and Yakface ain't doing a damn thing about it. He's not even warning anybody. He's just sort of looking around like, not Yakface's problem.
Someone should really do something about that.
Yakface, he does refer to himself in the third person.
Absolutely.
And now, that's a t-shirt right there. Not Yakface's problem.
He's very European, so he's probably sort of a pacifist, doesn't want to get involved.
Yeah, his last name's actually Fosse. Yeah, it's Yak Fosse.
He does look like the lead singer of Coldplay quite a bit.
Yakface used to be married to Gwyneth Paltrow. I want to vote for Yakface. But then I saw the picture of the actual figures, and Yakface has that thigh gap.
What is that?
The gap.
And I think Gonk Droid's stovepipe top would just go right into the thigh gap and take Yakface out.
Gonk Droid fights dirty.
Another one for Gonk Droid. Can Yakface get one? It's down to me to give it to Yakface. In my heart.
Give it to Yakface, Ken. It's down to you to give it to Yak Face.
Good night, everybody.
Now that's a t-shirt.
Who served me this cantina?
For giving it to Yak Face.
Come on, Kenny. Give it to him right in the thigh gap.
I mean, we've all been there, right?
Send all your complaints to Popcorn Talk.
I've been reading some Wookiee erotica today.
Yes,
Reading.
I was going to vote for Yak Face. I had every intention to go Yak Face as well.
Can't recommend it now.
Yeah, you can't. But then I looked at those little booties that Yak Face has on, and I feel any man that shows up with a furry shawl and booties cannot even defeat the Gonk Droid. I am going with Gonk Droid by default. Gonk Droid wins in a pretty much sweep to take the main event tournament. One push.
It's a squash match.
Squash.
So you're saying because of his B. Arthur wardrobe?
Yes.
Well, I think his stick is a giant vape pen. So he's chill.
I think it's a t-shirt says, eat, sleep, gonk, repeat.
He just became the Brooklyn Brawler of the Star Wars universe.
That is figure fight.
So what is our sad collection of victors?
Our victors today
Sad
are
Lobot.
Sad Lobot, Barada, and Gonk Droid. Gonk Droid. We'll have to put them all together into a one big fight.
Oh, yeah.
The main event from last time was Imperial Dignitary versus Logray, the Ewok Medicine Man, and I think we got to bring those guys back. I think maybe... And I'm spitballing here because I've had a lot to drink and I want to give it to Yak Face. I think in June we should do a figure fight tournament episode.
Yeah, the tournament would be great.
Yes.
Because then there are real stakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Some real stakes.
Yeah.
To the death.
That's when it really matters.
Yeah. That'll make a difference in the world.
And I like to think that, much like Cantina Confessions, all these fights with the figures start at the Cantina playset.
Yes.
When Mike, could you please do your impersonation of my favorite Cantina character?
Oh,
yeah.
He doesn't like you. I don't like you either. You better watch yourself. I've got the death sentence on 12 systems.
I'll be careful.
You'll be dead.
That's actually the first thing Mike said to me when I was up at the comedy store doing the open mic.
It's true.
Wow, that is great. Figure fights. We move on from that to this next game called Boring Conversation Anyway.
Drunk conversation anyway.
Yeah. So this one could go off the rails. It could go crazy.
Oh, I think it's going off the rails.
What we're going to do here is we're going to put two... You explain the rules as you envisioned them, Joseph.
Well, it's a conversation between two human beings. One human being is allowed to speak normally, and the other human being must answer in quotes from the Star Wars films.
Right.
Does the conversation have to make sense?
Well, it won't.
Okay.
The goal is that it should, and of course it won't, and humor will ensue.
Gotcha. So what we're going to do, I think we'll pair off here, and we'll go. I'm going to take suggestions from the audience, like a bad improv show, of a quote to start the conversation. I think the Star Wars quote will start it for fun purposes, and then we'll have someone the regular conversation. We'll see how long it's going. Do I have any volunteers for the audience to pair off first? Anyone want to go first? All right, then I think it should only be right that... Oh, Frankie, you want to go? Sure. Frankie's gonna curtain jerk this one open.
Yeah.
How did Yak Face get
All over
involved in
Yak
this?
Face.
Frankie Kazarian and I think Joe Ruggiero. I think, Joe, you get to be the normal person in this conversation.
Finally.
Frankie
Thank you, God. I'm the normal person in a conversation.
Frankie gets to take a swig and start with a quote that I'm going to take in the chat room. Start putting your quotes in now, and I will find a quote to go. Get ready. It's going to take a second. We're on a slight delay, so I have to kind of... Frankie's going to... He's Rolodexing through his thing, and I can also go to the...
While we're waiting, can I try your red hate drink?
Take it. You're going to look at Yak Face in a whole new way after you dive on into
This is delicious, by the way.
Yeah, Alexis, what is in that?
So the one that Ken is drinking is called the Dark Side.
Yes, it is.
It is pomegranate lemonade, rum, coconut rum, and I don't know how to say that one.
Cognac.
Thank you. And the Force is the one that
Frankie's
the one that
drinking?
we have is wild berry lemonade, vodka, and Chambord.
And magic.
And
Magic. All right, we got one. It's the first one I saw. It is submitted by Kyle Harlow. Frankie has to start the conversation. We will have, I think, a minute and a half on the board for purposes of keeping it so relatively short and less painful. And your line, Frankie, is "Get in there, you big furry oaf. I don't care what you smell."
Get in there, you big furry oaf. I don't care what you smell.
But it smells like yak face in there.
How you doing, Chewbacca?
Not good.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Excellent. Well played.
What choice do I have? It's me, yak face, and Chewbacca.
I was going to go to the Tachi station and get some power converters.
They're all sold out, dude. You can't get any more.
Last one.
No. Try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
Frankie Kazarian keeps it going. That was a great one. That was a great one. I'm going to pair off the two Comedy Store jerks. We're going to have Mark Ellis versus Mike Black in a conversation here. Anyone want to go regular? No, I think Ellis is ready to take the quotes.
I gave you the look like,
I feel good. I mean, this is pretty much my vernacular anyway. It's speaking in Star Wars tongue. So.
Absolutely.
This is just the first conversation like this we'll have filmed.
So, Mark, your quote, submitted by Pantini87, is... Are you an angel?
Go Pantini.
Whenever you're ready, we'll have a minute and a half on the board.
Really weird saying this to Mike Black, but I'm going to do it. Are you an angel?
Please come up with something original if you're going to hit on me.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You should. I'm very limber.
It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
You've been there before?
You worry about those fighters, I'll worry about the tower.
Oh, there's a tower, all right, kid.
God.
Quite a tower.
Wrap it up with your final one.
I know.
Outstanding.
That's masterfully done, sir.
Well played.
That was excellent.
All right, I think Jennifer and Joseph should give it a go, and I
want to be regular. Please.
We all want to be regular.
Just let me be normal for once.
Not happening.
By not be on this show, you are not. But Jennifer is going to not take the quotes. Joseph Scrimshaw, the man who emailed me, I've got an idea for a game, is going to take the quotes.
I like to hurt myself.
So I got one. This is from Adam J. Joseph, you're going to start the conversation with, I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
I hate sand. It's everywhere.
But we're already covered in it, so what are we gonna do?
I love you.
I love you too, but this is a really awkward time to tell me this.
No!
It's okay. You're a really nice guy. I just wasn't expecting it at this moment.
I will make it legal.
Okay, now you're creeping me out. I really thought we were friends.
No!
And scene. It
doesn't count.
Can I
if it's
say
the actual dialogue?
Still better than the actual romantic dialogue from Revenge of the Sith.
Deeply love you.
Can't we go back to Naboo?
I want to hold you by a lake.
Oh,
all right.
jeez.
I don't even know if I can do it at this point, but should I give it a go? Anyone want to
Yeah,
volunteer?
you have, as the host of Jedi Alliance.
You'll be regular?
I'll be regular.
Frankie will be regular. Joseph, I'm going to let you choose a quote here.
Okay. I'll look over here.
Okay.
Okay. How about there's always a bigger fish?
Okay.
That's what I saw there.
Here we go. There's always a bigger fish.
Really? Because that was a pretty big fish. You think there's one bigger than that?
Me should be thinking you know like in the Naboo.
I can't stand the Naboo, but what does that have to do with our conversation?
Come here, boy. From here, witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
Who are you calling boy?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Seems like I've heard that line before. Answer the question.
The Emperor's coming here?
No, I said answer the question. I don't want you to ask me a question. Answer the question.
I think that was him starting a second conversation with another person.
Foul on me. I'm out. I lose the
I thought it was very daring. I thought you were going to have a two-way conversation. Sorry.
I was really getting scared for your well-being there, Ken.
Yeah.
I was like, Frankie's making it real here.
It's been a long time since the groundlings for me. I'll tell you that much. That's a boring conversation anyway. And I know there's a great podcast out there with that name, but I just couldn't not name this segment this.
Yeah.
It is Jedi Alliance's boring conversation anyways. So from there, we're going to move on to something that I am going to be the administrator of because I have the questions. We're going to do the return of Star Pause in honor of my former host, Maude Garrett, over there at AMC's Jedi Council. This was, as you know, for the first 29 episodes, a great part of our show, where at any point during the show, we would randomly select, and it was very random. Maude and I never planned it. We just knew that at some point during the show, one of us was going to do a surprise trivia battle. So this one is the Master Edition, and you're all going to compete. The mics will be open. And Mark in the engineer booth, if you want to give it a go too, you are definitely welcome to compete. Your name is your buzzer. So Scrimshaw for you, Joe, I guess for you, just to avoid, and you have to do.
So we in order to buzz in, we shout our own names.
Yes,
awesome.
Like Beowulf.
For this game, can I be Bart Fart Plopper?
Absolutely.
I'm changing my name like Burt Reynolds did on Celebrity Jeopardy. Kurt Ferguson.
Yak face.
Joe. Ellis, Black.
I think Frankie has a new gimmick now.
Ellis, use Ellis. Mark in the booth. Are you going to use Mark? And then Scrimshaw. I am out. Alexis, do you want in on this too?
Nope, I'm going to watch.
Alexis is just going to serve us more out.
Choose wisely.
So what it does, I'm going to ask a bunch of questions. There are prequel questions, but believe it or not, well, you could probably believe it, it was very hard for me to track down prequel questions on the internet. Not a lot of prequel trivia available unless you have an actual
the hell you say?
So we have a lot based towards the original trilogy. That's kind of where we're going to be. But I'll throw in a prequel one when we can.
Please do.
And first to 3 points, the first 4 of you to move to 3 points gets to go to the second round. There we go. First to 2 people to 3 points, and again, and in the final round, the final 2 people first to 5 points. That's where we're going. All right. Are you all ready?
Sure.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
The first question as we go along. Why did Uncle Owen order Luke to take R2 to Anchorhead?
Ellis, have his memory wiped.
That is right. Ellis, got one. Down. Okay.
Well, somebody's trying.
He hasn't had any drinks yet.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Who handed Leia the medals for Han and Luke on Yavin? Scrimshaw.
General Dodonna.
That is right. For a bonus that no points, what's his first name?
General?
Jackface.
Sheev 2.
General Jan Dodonna.
I was going to say Janna. I was close.
Gonk Dodonna.
All right. What do moisture evaporators do?
Scrimshaw.
They do Scrimshaw.
My name is a verb too, so it sounds like I'm answering the question. They actually carve little pictures in ivory, like English sailors used to do. No, they suck moisture out of the environment.
That is right. All right.
It's right there in the name.
Right? It is.
Evaporate moisture.
All right.
You lost me.
Who was the Supreme Chancellor before Palpatine?
Mark. Is it Valorum?
That is right. Mark in the booth. Chancellor Valorum, as
Terrence
played
Stamp.
by Terrence Stamp.
Nice.
Exactly.
I was going to say that. Character's name.
Zod.
All right.
John Tunstall from Young Guns.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's really sad that you guys know trivia as it kind of relates to the prequels.
Okay. I'm getting some weird. Sorry. This is okay.
Well done.
Yeah, right. Who was the commander of the lead walker in the Hoth Snow battle? Yes.
General Veers.
That's right. Ellis gets in there. All right.
You can also watch on Game of Thrones.
That's right. Absolutely. So we're moving along. No, that's too easy. That's no way. What is the name of Wedge's gunner in the Hoth battle?
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
It's not Scrimshaw. It's Jensen.
That is right. Scrimshaw moves to the next round of competition.
Good shot, Jensen.
All right.
Wow. Could you do the easy one? Just like, no, do the easy one.
All right. Which bounty hunter is chased by Obi-Wan and Anakin in...
Scrimshaw.
You're out of it.
Oh, sorry.
I'll say again. Which bounty hunter is chased by Obi-Wan and Anakin in the...
Ellis.
Yes.
Jango Fett.
Incorrect. Which bounty
Mike Black. Zam Wiesel.
That's right. Zam Wiesel.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I thought you meant in the...
Right. The character's not in Game of Thrones, so how can we know?
How would I know that?
Next question.
He wasn't Zod.
Who is called a political idealist, not a murderer, by Ki-Adi-Mundi?
Mike Black? Palpatine?
Incorrect.
Mark? General Grievous?
Ellis.
Admiral Bone to Pick.
Queen Amidala.
He is called a political idealist and not a murderer by Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Wait, can I get a second chance? If nobody answers, can I get a second chance?
No one answers. Anyone else on the board? No? Mark, go for it.
Count Dooku.
That is correct. That is correct. I'll go back to movies we've all seen.
I could have done it if I wasn't off the board.
So, I was going to say R2-D2, so I figured that's probably...
What kind of droid was C-3PO?
Mark. Human cyborg relations.
That is correct. Yes,
Mark.
It is.
Protocol droid.
Protocol droid.
Yeah, no, that's right. The answer they gave was completely long-winded on this thing. So Ellis moves on to round 2.
Right.
We need 2 more competitors to get us there.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Loser bracket.
Yeah.
There is going to be.
There is a consolation, right?
What is Chewbacca's name? Just the name of Chewbacca. Please tell us his name.
Write a number. Any number.
All right. What creature did Ben fend off from Luke in the cantina? This is an action figure answer.
A Mike Black.
Mike Black. Ponda Baba.
We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with Ponda.
Take me. You can get it. This
That's right.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah.
Buttmouth was the other name.
Monkey Buttface. Is that it?
Who was Red 2 in A New Hope? Red 2 in A New Hope.
Mark? Porkins?
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Oh, Porkins.
Wedge?
Was it Biggs?
Was it Wedge?
Was it Wedge? Yeah, it was Wedge, right?
Frankie?
Was I right the first time?
We're going to give it to Jennifer since she thought out loud and got it right.
Yes! I was like, Biggs?
All right. Oh, that is way too easy. Dexter Jetster ran what sort of business?
Mark.
Yes.
Diner.
That is right. Mark moves on. We're looking for one more.
Never forget a silly name like Dexter Jetster.
That's true. That's probably better than Captain Phasma. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Oh no, these are all shut. Okay, no, sorry. I have to. There's so many of them. What substance was Han Solo frozen in?
Frankie.
Carbonite. Oh, sorry, shit.
Carbonite?
Yes.
Hi, Carbonite.
Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
I just assumed there was a buzzer.
That was a different substance that you said. Carbonite and then an S word,
yeah, you
I think?
were right the first time.
Is a
He was not frozen in the second thing.
We are looking for one more. We got Frankie with 1, Landa 1, Joe 0, Mike Black 2, 3 gets you in. So this one is: who did Vader promote to Admiral Ozzel's position after killing him?
Joe. General Nita.
Incorrect.
Shut up.
Mike Black. Veers.
Incorrect.
Frankie. Admiral Piet.
Correct.
Damn it! My instinct was right.
You need some confidence.
I know.
Technically,
I'm so bad
he
at
promoted
trivia.
Captain Piet to Admiral
Right.
Piet.
Put an asterisk by mine like Barry Bonds.
Last.
All right. Frankie can move on. Mike Black can move on. It's getting close. Or Landa and Joe can come back from this one here.
Yeah, watch that happen.
What healing substance was Luke submerged in?
Mike Black. Back to.
That is right. Mike Black moves on.
He was submerged in Mike Black.
Mike Black.
It's healing. The healing waters of Mike Black.
All right, you're all still with us out there? All right, you guys are having fun. All right, here we go. We're going to move on to the second round of the competition. We got Ellis, Black, Mark in the booth, Scrimshaw right here next to me. So
I'm just going to drink.
My money's on you, Ellis.
All right. I gotta find a good one. Who says the line "Sith are our speciality" in the beginning?
Senator Palpatine.
Incorrect.
Mike Black.
I heard Scrimshaw.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That is correct.
To Palpatine.
So now you're throwing the softball questions out in the second round.
All right. Oh God, I don't even know that one. Go ahead, Frankie. Look at the porn. It's good.
Yeah. I've got anything else to do.
Who wields 2 lightsabers while dueling Count Dooku?
Scrimshaw. It always sounds like I'm saying my name. Anakin.
Anakin Skywalker is right. That's right. So again, we're first 2 people to 3 points for this one. All right. Back to some original trilogy here. That's no, I can't do that. No, okay.
So curious.
Yeah, you can.
When the Millennium Falcon's crew floated away with the Star Destroyer's garbage, what system was the ship in?
Whoa.
I'll say it again. When the Millennium Falcon's crew floated away with the Star Destroyer's garbage, what system was the ship in?
Mike Black Hoth?
Incorrect. Mark in the booth. Anyone? Ellis?
Scrimshaw.
Yep.
Nita? Not Nita. No, I just wanted to say my own name again. Screw it.
Incorrect. Do we have blanks drawn across the board?
The developmental system?
Not yet.
The system they started in, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll say it
lost.
one more time. When the Falcon's crew floated away with the Star Destroyer's garbage, what system was the Falcon in?
Digestive?
The space worm system.
Incorrect. It is the NOAD system.
I knew it.
Wasn't gonna get that.
If you say so.
Sure, totally.
Which general commanded the Hoth base?
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
Riken. General Riken.
That is right, General Riken. Scrimshaw moves on to the final round. We're looking for a competitor for him. We got Ellis, Mike Black, and Mark in the booth.
Keep drinking, Scrimshaw. I want a drunk Scrimshaw.
I'll drink the hard stuff.
How many forms of communication was C? Yes.
6. Fluent in over 6 million forms of communication.
That is right. Ellis takes that one there. He's on the board. All right. What 2 tools did Han Solo use to repair the Millennium Falcon in Empire Strikes Back? I'll accept one of them.
Mike Black, Hydro Spanner.
That's right. Black is on the board.
The second is swearing.
The second is Wookiee abuse.
All right. Staying in Empire. Who were Zuckuss and Dengar?
Mark. The other 2 other bounty hunters.
That is correct.
Nice. Nicely done.
Bounty hunters. All right.
They made it to the callback.
Absolutely. By which executive order are the Jedi?
Mike Black.
Order 66.
That is right. Alex on the board.
Payback for the Hydro Spanners.
A lot of shouting there. Loud noises.
On what planet? On what planet is the Grand Army of the Republic created?
Mike Black. I forgot.
Mark.
Yes.
In the booth. Camino.
That is right. Camino is there. All right. We got a potential matchup coming up here. If this one comes through, as I try to find one good. Aha! What creatures formed the workforce in Cloud City?
Mark.
Yes.
Ugnaughts.
That is right. Mark moves on. Mark in the
Well
booth.
played.
Mark in the booth goes for the finals. I hope you're all out there still with us enjoying this
I'm dying
one.
inside.
That's right. All right. Okay.
Get another not a moon beverage, brother. You'll enjoy this a lot more.
All right. let's get out of Empire. How about that?
I like when the guy asking the trivia questions is the most flustered. That's when I feel good.
I just don't want. I hate dead air.
No one will know that one.
I hate dead air, but sometimes we got to do it. I got to do this. There's so many questions. There's over 430 questions that
You're
I'm
a
looking
pro.
at.
You're the most professional broadcaster I've ever met in my life. I'm serious.
What? This is. That's too easy. That's too damn easy. The answer's Kashyyyk. We all knew that.
Mark Kashyyyk.
Spell it.
All right. Here we go. To start the final round, this is going to be first to 5. We're going to have some. We're going to do it here. All right. What was the surgeon droid's name?
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
2-1B.
That's right.
Wow.
Scrimshaw.
I think he's seen Star Wars
Impressive.
Most impressive. I love you.
When are we going to get to Next Generation?
It's tomorrow.
Absolutely. The true or false questions are stupid.
See, those I might have known.
In Star Wars A New Hope, Episode 4, there are 3 Imperial officers mentioned other than Darth Vader. I'm going to see if you can name 2 of the 3.
Nope.
There are 3 Imperial officers mentioned in A New Hope. I'll take 2 of the 3 names if you can.
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
That's my name. Grand Moff Tarkin.
Correct?
And there are other actual named?
Figrin Don.
Figrin Dan. The Emperor.
No.
He's named, right?
He's named, but he's not an Imperial officer.
Right.
He's Sheev.
He's above that.
He's Sheev. With the guy who, I'm trying to remember the name of the dude who gets choked, but it isn't. It's not like he says his name.
Right.
I can't.
You can't
think of another named.
Mark, can you steal it
Imperial.
all?
No.
No. Moti and Tag.
They're not. Oh, they're named in the expanded universe, but I thought you said if their names were spoken aloud.
Are you playing this game of protest?
No. I believe that what he's saying when he's choking is his own name.
I vote for vote of no confidence.
That sounds like an awesome buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Moti and Tag.
All right.
Sliding across the hoods of X-Wings.
How did Obi-Wan Kenobi know it wasn't the work of the Sand People?
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
The blaster marks were too accurate.
That is correct.
And they wrote in. Yeah.
All right.
Side by side.
Mark, you hanging in there? Okay.
I'm got 3 that's no moons going. So
3. There's more.
Yeah.
You're holding out on us.
Yeah. What the?
All right.
well, I see 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
We're staying in A New Hope. How many monetary units did Ben Kenobi propose to pay Han for the trip to Alderaan?
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
I think 3,500 total.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Was it 7,000 half now, half when we get there?
So close. I'll give you 5 seconds to amend it. Beep, beep, beep.
Was it 8? Was it 8 for now?
Oh, you're way off. 17,000 in advance and 15 when we reach Alderaan.
He's cheaper than I remembered.
All right. What was... Excuse me. Sorry, I had it. What language was 3PO required to speak for Uncle Owen?
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
Bocce.
That is right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Up 3-0. What Jedi decapitates Jango Fett?
Scrimshaw. Mace Windu.
That is right.
Nice. Nicely done.
I keep forgetting it's Family Feud rules and just not buzzing in before the question's over.
Well, I'm a vain jerk, so I really like saying my own name, which gives me a huge advantage.
Yeah, well, I love purple, so whatever.
It's time for that epic comeback.
It is. Can Scrimshaw wrap it up? I was trying to find a very, very good prequel question, but I don't think we're going to do that. I could ask.
I watched all the Red Letter Media, so I'm ready for that stuff.
Yeah. All right. I want to find a good one here. Apologize for my delayed dead air. All right.
Yak face.
So how you doing, Mike?
Yeah. Sorry. All right.
Take another round of this Jedi juice.
Yeah, I'll take one.
What
Jedi juice.
What
Sipping on
did
Jedi
the
juice.
Empire find on Dantooine?
Scrimshaw.
Yes.
An abandoned base.
Abandoned what base?
Abandoned rebel base.
That's right. Scrimshaw wins.
Wait, what's going on? When are we starting the final?
All I will remember is my shame for the ones I did not get.
Outstanding. So that is our Star Paws Super Edition.
Really
Next time,
good.
maybe I'll have the questions not on my screen. So we're going to move on here in our finals. We wrap up the show. Again, this has been a blast.
Do we have to leave?
We're not leaving yet. We got a big one coming here. As
You
we
have to. Everyone else can stay.
That's standard.
Now, last week, I just realized, once again, I do this a lot after Maude has left the show. I forget to do my Duel of the Fates homework. Last week, we debated. Jennifer was here, along with Miri Jedikin and Megan Finley. We debated who made the bigger tactical mistake. Was it on the Empire side? Was it the not going ship to ship in A New Hope in the Battle of Yavin earlier, or was it taking the fight to the Ewoks in the forest in the Battle of Endor? So a little round robin. You came down on the side of Battle of Endor, correct?
Actually, I kind of said both.
You did. That's right.
I think
Push.
the Empire underestimated the rebels because they relied too much on the Death Star, which obviously was not able to protect itself, and of course the fatal mistake of not pairing up with the Ewoks.
Right, not choosing the help of the Ewoks.
Yeah.
All right,
done
so
it.
that is that for that. But I want you guys to kind of answer as well before we move into today's Duel of the Fates. So, Rujarella, what would you have gone with?
I would probably go with Battle of Endor just because it's never smart to go in on somebody else's territory. You don't know
Vietnam.
It's Vietnam, only with tiny teddy bears. Plus, just
never get into a land war.
never get into land
Endor.
war.
Right.
Yeah, and just I find the end result more embarrassing for the Empire because they got their asses kicked by Ewoks. That's really sad.
Mike Black,
Yeah, I agree because it's really the morale that got hurt the most on that.
Yeah.
If anyone else in the galaxy sees Ewoks, that's just bad PR. They should have just firebombed the planet and then taken over.
Okay, Ellis.
I got to disagree with the boys. I understand the Vietnam comparison, but we never even have to go there if the Battle of Yavin works out for the way it should have. And you should have gone away from the zone and gone man to man earlier in the game.
Right.
The biggest blunder is the Maytag guy who should have fixed the vent. He's the guy that should have gotten fired immediately. But yeah, I go Battle of Yavin.
Maybe not inviting all the Bothans.
Yeah.
To work on the station.
Bothans, come on, they're fun.
They're great. Frankie, who would you have taken? What would you say?
I'm going with similar to what they said about going into the uncharted territories of Endor. They didn't know what they were getting themselves into with a bunch of little adorable carnivores / human eating things. You would think going ship to ship would be the better idea, but they had a friggin' Death Star, that had a major tactical flaw.
Right.
But yeah, they decided to take it to the streets, and they got their ass handed to them by the Ewoks. They did. Or take it to the forest.
Take it to the forest. But I kind of went
I wish
with
they
that
were playing Michael McDonald as they invaded.
I went with that too, because you've constructed this terror, and you're kind of sitting behind that wall of confidence.
You got this gigantic Death Star that's horrifying and destroys planets.
They underestimated.
And they were mere seconds away from blowing up the. If they blow up the base, it doesn't matter what. They were that close.
Joseph, what do you have?
Yeah, I think the first Death Star is just a technical error. It's like missing a bit of code if you're a programmer, and we know that they didn't analyze it until seconds before it happened, where they're like, "Whoops, we just analyzed these stolen plans that were stolen a long time ago." But I think Endor is just far more hubris. Because that is a long-term plan of Palpatine's.
Right.
And I think he knew the Ewoks were there. I'm sure that the biker scouts went and said hey, there are teddy bears everywhere. And he was just like, I don't care. Screw the teddy bears.
So and you've already had one Death Star blow up at that point too, so it's not like this is completely out of left field that this might happen.
It's kind of like, I imagine the Imperial officers when the Empire was announcing the second Death Star. It was kind of like that guy who's broken up with a girlfriend and has chosen another girl. You're like, dude, another stripper?
Come on, man.
No.
And this one's only half completed?
What? Do you remember what happened last time?
Come on.
She's missing a leg, Jerry.
That Sheev is so bad at picking women. He just,
It's gonna be different, you guys.
You don't know her.
Mark, what do you have in the engineer booth? What would you have picked?
definitely, Ewoks going with I'm all over
Ewoks.
Yes.
Ewoks gone wild. Yes.
Ewoks and X-Wings. That's what I want.
Ewoks and X-Wings. That's a good documentary. It's a 30 for 30 coming out on ESPN. So that's that. So this week we're going to wrap up the show here. We still got some time, but we're going to take some time to debate this one. It is the biggest duel of fates we've had yet because it answers the ultimate question to life, the universe, and everything. 42. And this week's duel of the fates. Who was the chosen one for reals, yo? Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker? What did the prophecy really mean? Who was it about? Was it about little Annie? Or was it about his son Luke? Who really brought balance to the Force until J.J. Abrams changed the story? No. So that is that. I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it there. That is the big duel of fates for the week, is who was really the chosen one, Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker? I'll take a volunteer to state their claim first. Frankie.
Why not?
Go for it.
All right. And I'm not just saying this because I like Mark Hamill much more than I like Jake Lloyd, Hayden Christensen, or Sebastian Shaw.
Credit across the board.
Yeah, I'm going...
Screw David Prowse.
I'm going Luke Skywalker, simply because he stayed the course the whole time. He was tempted, but he never joined the dark side.
Right.
He stayed the course. Now, having said that, had Sheev not been trying to kill Luke, would Vader have even stepped in? Like,
that's
I know.
a deep question.
Okay. So Vader is ultimately the guy that kills the Emperor and brings balance to the Force. But had the fight not gone that way, would he have done that? If, say, for example, if Vader had defeated Luke, would Vader just be like, business as usual, and
carry on?
Yeah,
and the Force would have been imbalanced.
Right. Still. Exactly. Yeah. But was it that seeing your child being fried by your boss?
Right.
Well, I gotta kind of step in and do something. He's my boss, but
he's more of a creepy uncle than a boss.
Well, bring your son to work day. Ended up bad.
Exactly. Not go well for anyone.
So look what fun this is, son.
I am going Luke for his dedication to the Force and the good side.
Yeah. Frankie's got Luke. Jennifer Land across the board. Let's move across here.
I mean, absolutely, I would say Anakin.
Okay.
Because he did bring balance to the Force in the end. George Lucas apparently said that himself, right?
Sure. We don't pay attention to George much.
He says a lot of things.
However, I agree. Without Luke, he would have never perhaps fulfilled that prophecy. It is because Luke believed that there was still good in his father.
Right.
So it's kind of a little bit of a tie, or a
little push.
Yeah, Luke was a bit of a catalyst.
But you're going Annie in the end.
Yeah, ultimately.
Little Annie.
Yeah.
I killed them all.
But you were the chosen one.
Animals.
That's true, and Obi-Wan does kind of claim that, huh?
Right.
But Obi-Wan, he's a bit of a liar. It's been proved.
From a certain point of view.
Joseph, what do you have?
I have to go Anakin Skywalker, because I think he actually fulfills the prophecy twice. Because I think the prophecy can be read many ways, and I think he brings balance to the Force by reducing Jedi and Sith to 2 each.
Right.
I don't like all of the extra Jedi floating around, but at least in the moment, in Revenge of the Sith, if you want to go canon to the movie, 2 Jedi left, 2 Sith left, so that's the first time. I love that moment in the film where Yoda and Mace Windu are finally like, we should have interpreted this in some way other than the way we just wanted to. Oh, that's another way. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. But then I do think he does ultimately bring balance to the Force by destroying the Sith entirely, because I think it's not just that he destroys Palpatine. In the process, he destroys himself by letting the lightning arc across him. So he's destroying all of the Sith, not just eliminating Palpatine. Final point, I feel like if you're going to have a prophecy, it is about a child mysteriously born of the Force than a kind, sandy-haired child created out of a kind of weird hookup.
To be fair, I still think Qui-Gon had been there before.
Absolutely. If Qui-Gon,
I think he came back to... we need to go to Tatooine. I left something in a hut. Mike Black...
If it comes down to motivation, which is what a lot of people are saying as to why he would restore balance to the Force, and he saw his son getting just his ass handed to him by the Emperor, and he saw that any loved ones that he had left were going to be under the Emperor's rule after that, and his final words being what they were, the chosen one was Leia.
Nice.
Wow.
I like it. With authority. In the booth, Alexis, Mark, what do you guys have?
We were actually just arguing about
We're
this.
fighting.
Oh, well, share it. Share it with the group and this delicious alcohol.
So I was gonna say Luke, just because I have beef with Anakin because he killed.
You got heat with Annie?
Yeah, well, mostly just because he killed the younglings. But Mark said.
I've got a very good point.
And that was all he said. I've got a good point.
Only the Sith deal in very good points.
Well, speaking of Sith, at the very end, I like the point of if the Emperor never messed with Luke, but I think Anakin and Darth Vader he's the only person that can actually kill the Emperor and end the rule of the Empire. So if everything didn't go out like it could, I still think Darth Vader at some point would be the one to kill the Emperor as opposed to Luke, or else Luke would turn to the dark side.
Okay.
That's why we're fighting.
So Mark's going with Anakin.
I'm going with Anakin.
And Alexis, you're going with Luke?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ruggiero.
I expected to go with Luke like all day, but I've kind of changed my mind in the last 30 seconds. Going with Anakin.
Peer pressure.
No, I was kind of putting it together. Plus, Scrimshaw made a very good point. Mm-hmm. And to their point of asking if Darth Vader would have stepped in while Emperor's kicking Luke's ass,
right.
If that wasn't happening, he kind of had already hinted previously that he was kind of thinking of overturning the Emperor anyway with his line to Luke, we could rule the galaxy as father and son. Yeah. So we already had the seed planted of getting rid of this Emperor at some other, we don't know if that's necessarily just his Sith greed or if part of the goods, that was kind of the first part of that coming back.
I like that.
So I think for all the reasons already said, because I'm a follower.
You're going with Annie.
Annie.
Okay. Annie. We got a lot of people going Anakin in here. Tommy Steinbrecher says Vader was the one who actually killed the Emperor. Luke was just a variable that made Vader make the decision that he did. All that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Oh, the Sith is acting here. Mark Ellis.
I'm going R2D2, Ken.
R2D2.
That was my second choice.
The Bible's full of prophecies that don't come true.
Sure.
So I'm coming at this from the perspective that this prophecy doesn't necessarily have to come true. It's just something that they're discussing. That, you speak of the prophecy that may or may not ever happen.
Right.
Now, if it did happen, Luke Skywalker is the greatest hero of all time to me. He's my personal favorite.
True.
However, he loses to the Emperor if Darth Vader does not step in. When you talk about bringing balance to the Force, I think that prophecy may be referring to the fact that there might be a day at one time when we don't need the Force anymore. Thus, it lies dormant, and then 30 years later, it awakens because Disney needs money. Who brought balance to the Force? Ultimately, I'm going to go with Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. I will say it's a good thing that Darth Vader died at the end of Return of the Jedi, because even though he becomes good at the end, if he survived, that would have been a weird day at work on Monday for everyone. Hey guys, this is Darth. I know we've had our disagreements. He might have destroyed a few planets, burned a few Jedi. Your cubicle's next to Wedge.
There are some new policies.
My bad, guys.
I'd like you to meet our new HR rep. Got some things to read.
Sir, I didn't get a paycheck last Friday.
These are all
my lunch was clearly labeled.
You ate my sandwich?
You guys are having great fun with this. This has been...
Kenny, who do you take, if I might ask?
I'm closing it. And Alex Welsh agrees Luke was way more than a variable. Luke is the chosen one. Alex Welch of schmoesknow.com says Luke was the chosen one. Look, I'd love to say that it's Chief Chirpa or Leia or R2D2.
Lobot!
Or a sad Lobot. And I had this thing when I said we talked about what was the bigger twist story-wise, not cinematic pop culture-wise. The bigger twist was it Darth Vader being Luke's father or Leia being Luke's sister. And I kind of went with Luke's sister's switch because that to me was the bigger twist story-wise that caused Luke to actually strike out and defend his sister and kill his father. Otherwise, Luke kind of didn't want to do that. He just wanted, hey, Dad, you want to go have a picnic instead of seeing? okay, we'll go see your boss. So I went a little swervy on that one, but this one, after much thought, and you have made wonderful points, and I want to give you all a big round of applause in my brain here. You guys debated this with so much sincerity for the last 15 minutes. This has been great to watch. Wow. I have to go with Anakin Skywalker because I absolutely believe that it is his story in the end, 1 through 6, whether we want to watch that way or not. This is his story, and he was the one who had to do the self-sacrifice. I think that's the biggest point, is he didn't just kill the Emperor and say, let's go get a cheeseburger, son. He had to sacrifice himself, and that brought the balance to the Force. So that Aura's Time signature MMA says Jackson. Jackson is the one.
Definitely.
Jackson is
Big
the
green
one.
rabbit.
So that is kind of the wrap up here. We got about 10 minutes to wrap it up and send it home. This has been so much fun celebrating Star Wars Day. I want to thank everyone here who's had some fun. And as we close, let's wrap it up with something some sincerity here of what Star Wars as a property and a story and a saga and a movie and toys. What does it mean to you all here? Jump on in. I'll say for me, it has been my entire life, because not just because it's these funny wacky characters with strange names like Captain Phasma. It is because it is modern myth. It is the story of us. It is. I find myself in Luke staring at the sun sometimes, wondering when I'm going to get on to my next great thing. Exactly as Binary Sunset plays. To me, it is a scoundrel finding love. It is a princess who is of action, not of a damsel in distress. It is all these stories. It is our modern myths. That's what this means to me. It's why it's a fun universe to celebrate and play around in. Anyone else jump on in?
You know, being a farm boy from the South, as I am, the fact you can have a story about a guy who makes out with his sister and still becomes something, he still makes something of himself, just really hit home for me. You described a lot of great points that are in Star Wars when you watch it on screen. What those series of films have meant not only to me and my family is you cannot quantify how that brought us together as a people, because families always disagree. You want to fight with your sister and your brother, your dad, your mom, but when we talk about Star Wars, we all have this universal love for the films together. So I can't wait to share that with them again on December 18th. This is maybe the most special May 4th in history, because it's the one when we're like, hey, this is the last one before we get a new movie. So it's just a very good time to be alive and to be a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah, the family connection is great. One of our past guests, Joseph Alvarez, says the only movie he ever saw with his father was Empire Strikes Back. You know, and that was big to him and still is big to him.
I'll say this.
It must have been weird at the end. That must have
I have a very good friend of mine, Joe, who I met in first grade, and the reason we became pals is because we both had the Return of the Jedi lunchbox, which is basically the scene from Jedi with Luke standing there in the Memoriam Guards in Jabba's palace. We had the same lunchbox, and one day I sat down at the cafeteria table and opened it up, and instead of my white bread PB&J and my canister of Kool-Aid, there was like some soup and like a terrible wheat bread sandwich. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't my lunch. I look across the table and I see Joe, who I only knew just in passing, eating my white bread sandwich. Whoa, brother,
living it up.
So we realized, white bread day. We realized as 6-year-olds, we've mistakenly taken each other's lunchboxes, but we both have the same lunchbox. You like Star Wars, so do I. And to this day, he's one of my very near dear best friends, and we forged that relationship based on Star Wars.
Did he give you back your lunch?
Oh no, I think it was already half eaten at that point.
He's a scavenger.
I've never had sugar before. This is awesome.
It's just things like that. And
no more soup for Joe.
You know, there's people like I hate it when people say when there's the reaction of the trailer and there's groaning and crying and there's these critics going, it's just a movie. Sometimes it transcends being just a movie. And people relate. I relate a lot of what happened in my youth, good memories, to Star Wars, to the first 3 films.
And no movie critic should ever say it's just a movie. What did you get in this business for?
Exactly. It obviously isn't. Right. It obviously isn't. If it was just a movie, there wouldn't be something called Celebration every year. Right. There wouldn't be part of Disneyland.
They wouldn't be building a new theme park for it.
It's not just a movie. So
Mark wouldn't ride Star Tours endlessly for 12 hours. And it's shared memories, because I had that lunchbox too, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Jennifer, what does it mean to you with your Wicket Lego earrings.
It means my life. I mean, ever since I was a kid, it's given me hope. It's why I fell in love with movies and why I wanted to be a part of movies.
Right.
But now, and even back then, I didn't have a lot of friends that were into it. But now, the community is what Star Wars is. The fans have kept Star Wars alive, even during the dark periods when nothing was happening.
Yeah. Late 80s.
Yeah, there was nothing. But now it's incredible to see all these fans.
And I had so much fun. This is my first Star Wars celebration, and some of you were there, and you were there with me on that day. Friday was like the best day of my life at that convention, because I got there, hit the ground, and I was surrounded by everyone there. Conventions are sometimes jostling and this and that. Everyone there was just like, it's okay, it's Star Wars. It's okay.
Yeah.
And around every corner, you found someone who had one of those lunchboxes, who had that experience, who had the family connection. That's what made it so great. That's a great point. Ruggiero, you've named your cat. It must mean
I've
something.
had my cat. No, it's that old friend that's just always there. Like I rewatched the original trilogy a couple weeks ago just because it's what I do. And and it's like that comfort of like, all right, here we go. Like, even though you've seen it thousands of times, you know exactly what's it still holds something. And I didn't even necessarily realize how much it meant to me until the trailers for the new one started coming out. And I was like you. The first one, when the song hits and you see the Falcon flying, and then again with the number 2 with Chewie, we're home. I was just on my laptop, just oh my god, it's Star Wars! I love it so much. Look how many people are on, and how many people are probably watching this, going, "Oh, I could have been on Jedi Alliance today." I would,
my son's 2.5, and he said to me for the first time about 2 weeks ago, "Daddy, I want to watch Star Wars."
Oh,
and
that's good parenting.
I legitimately was just like. That's
you have succeeded as a parent. Well done.
Good parents. I'm so glad I named you Rebel.
Thank God.
Mr. Black.
Man, for me, I guess I don't like a lot of people. But
good man. They have it coming. People have it coming.
Yeah, relate. But if someone drops any sort of hint that they're into Star Wars at all, it instantly brings up my respect level quite a bit, and it's just shorthand for good people now to me. And there's so many different ways to interpret the experience, and so many things to debate and disagree on and stuff like that. But it's all Star Wars, and it all means so much to me and means so much to the people that enjoy it that it's impossible for me to not like someone after they've dropped that they're into Star Wars.
Right. Absolutely. Joseph, bring us home with this idea, then we'll wrap up and get on out of here.
I mean, we've talked a lot about like memories of childhood, and I do think that is one of the things that makes it more than a movie. But I think the actual quality of the films, the prequels included, what's amazing about them is that they feel new and exciting. You're seeing all these things that you could have never imagined. But in the storytelling, what's actually happening, there's always something very old and very ancient. And, George Lucas talks a lot about the myth cycle. I think some of that's a little bit BS-y, but I think that myth cycle is there in a really true, deep way. So even if you're young and you didn't have the lunchbox experience, I think when you watch those films, you immediately connect to this sense of the ancient, in that we have been here for a long time, and there's a hope that we will be here through conflict, and just that sort of, I think, a deep existential human thing, truly, of we want to know that there will be new adventures, but within them there will also be something familiar. And I think that's why we all cry more than anything after Luke talks about the lineage and the power in the lineage. And that has us ready to cry. And then literally the line from this beautiful old space grandfather, we're home. And I think that's what makes us feel.
Make me cry now.
Plus, it has gunk droids. So, I also did want to point out I'm wearing my Y-Wing shirt, and one of our listeners, Charlie Davis, one of my favorite Jedi Alliance listeners, he's so great. He emailed me and goes, "Hey, your Club Y-Wing, you got to get this shirt." And Charlie, thank you for tipping me off. I wore the shirt. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, all of you who listened today, contributed, and came on the show. Mark and Alexis in the booth, thank you for your Jedi Jawa juice.
Cheers.
Absolutely, thank you for contributing. And Joseph Scrimshaw, tell everyone where they can find you.
My website is josephscrimshaw.com, and you can find me on Twitter at Joseph Scrimshaw, and doing comedy shows all the time, all over the place.
Absolutely. Mr. Mike Black, thank you for stepping in last minute, too.
Oh, yeah. At Mike Black Attack for everything.
Absolutely, across the board. Ruggiero, you'll be back again, maybe even guest hosting when I go to Vegas, and have fun. And people will hate you, but I love you from the bottom of my heart. One of my longtime friends here. So tell them where they can find you.
At JoeRu23 on the Twit machine, and all the other media thingies, and just at home begging you to let me come on and piss off all your fans again.
Mr. Mark Ellis, Schmoes Know, I know you're out of town this week doing some comedy, right?
Yeah, I'll be stealing Frankie's lunchbox, and then I'm heading out of town. All upcoming tour dates you can find at markellislive.com. I'll be in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Acme Comedy Club this weekend, and obviously subscribe to our YouTube channel, Schmoes Know. Be a member of Schmoville.
Absolutely. Mr. Frankie Kazarian.
I will be in the United Kingdom this weekend, Scotland and England. I will be in Philadelphia and Toronto for huge Ring of Honor shows, and on Twitter you can find me at Frankie Kazarian, Instagram Frankie Kazarian _official, and I'm not a good Instagram user, so probably just ignore that last one. just do the Twitter.
Absolutely. Jennifer Landis, so great to have you back. I know it's not going to be the last time. After this, we're going to have some of your hot cupcakes that you brought in for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell us where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Jennifer Landa or on YouTube for my Star Wars videos, youtube.com/Jennifer Landa.
Absolutely a wonderful show. Thank you so much. May the 4th be with you. Do not forget to follow all the Popcorn Talk Network shows. There's so much stuff going on there. Go to youtube.com/Popcorn Talk. May the 4th. Next week, Scott Mance. It looks like Miri Jedikin back. We're going to do Star Trek and Star Wars, not versus. We're going to have a fun show there. A lot of great stuff coming up. We got the Figure Fight episode. Granny Mahara has agreed to come in and bring his BB-8 that he is building. We're hoping that's going to happen. And a lot of great stuff. We're also going to do the prequel toys soon with these gentlemen there. Thank you to Popcorn Talk, Stephen and Phil, for letting us have this big 2-hour special. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. We are out. Many Bothans died to bring you this show today.
Producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.